I have a USB drive sitting on my kitchen table right now. I've been staring at it for 3 months, trying to decide if I should show it to anyone. It has 11 hours of security footage on it. Footage that got me fired. Footage that the building manager called doctored, and a liability nightmare. Footage that I know for a fact is completely real. My name doesn't matter. What matters is that for 8 months I worked overnight security at Caldwell Commerce Center in downtown Columbus, Ohio. 34 floors. 60% vacancy. The kind of place where whole floors sit dark and locked because the company that leased them folded or moved or just stopped existing. I worked 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. alone with a radio and a monitor bank and a thermos of bad coffee. I wasn't looking for anything strange. I never was. The building has a particular silence to it after midnight. Not peaceful, just empty. Air systems cycling. Elevators returning to ground level by themselves. The occasional ping of a notification from someone who left their computer up on the 12th floor. You learn to tune it out. You learn to trust the rhythms. I had 4 monitor screens at the desk, 22 active cameras. Lobby, stairwells, elevator cabs, service corridor. The upper floors, 20 through 34, were dark, so their cameras fed me nothing but gray, static shapes. Chairs in conference rooms. Whiteboards nobody had written on in years. Empty hallways stretching away from the lens like long, narrow throats. I used to eat my dinner watching those screens. Turkey, sandwiches, Mountain Dew, something playing on my phone. I never felt watched. Not in the beginning.
It started on a Tuesday in late October. I know it was Tuesday because I checked my notebook. I kept a paper log, old habit from my first security job. The kind of handwritten record nobody asks for until something goes wrong. I was on my second sweep of the night, ground floor, checking the loading dock doors, when I heard it, a sound from the elevator bank, soft, rhythmic, a child humming, not a melody I recognized. Just a low, wandering hum, the kind a kid makes when they're half focused on something else entirely. I stood very still for about 4 seconds, which felt like 4 minutes, and then I walked to the elevator doors and pressed my ear against the cold steel. Nothing. I rode up to every floor, checked every corridor, found nothing. Logged it as possible audio anomaly HVAC. I told myself it was pipes, I almost believed it.
3 nights later, I found the handprints. They were on the elevator door on floor 22. Small hands, child-sized, pressed flat against the brushed steel, like the kid had been leaning on the door from the inside. But the elevator cab was empty when I arrived, and had been sitting on the lobby level for the past hour according to my log. I photographed them with my phone, texted the image to my buddy Ray, and said, "What does this look like to you?" He said, a kid. I said, "There are no kids in this building." He said, "Then you've got a problem." I filed a report. The building manager told me it was probably a cleaning crew bringing in a child. It happens. People have no childcare. And that I should scrub the doors. I scrubbed the doors. They were back the following Tuesday.
The third Tuesday, 3:17 a.m. I was at my desk when the audio monitor on camera 20, 2C picked up something. I almost missed it. It registers as a little orange flicker on the soundboard, easy to confuse with the electrical buzz that old cameras always throw. But I'd learned that building sounds by then. This was different. I turned up the monitor speaker, held my breath. A voice, small, saying a name, not my name, a man's name I didn't recognize. Daniel, just that. Daniel. Repeated gently twice, like calling someone back from the edge of sleep. I have the timestamp saved. I have the audio clip saved. It is on that USB drive right now, and I've listened to it maybe 40 times trying to find a rational explanation, and I have not found one. I went up to floor 22. The elevator ride to 22 felt too slow. The building's elevators were old, that hydraulic kind that takes its time and shudders a little at the top. I had my flashlight out even though I knew the lights on 22 still worked. I needed something in my hand. The doors opened into the reception area, a floor nobody had leased in 4 years. Desk still in place, a whiteboard still hanging on the far wall. Someone had drawn a sun on it in blue marker, years ago, the kind of thing people do to break up the bleakness of a new office. Stick, figure sun, 8 rays, slightly crooked. Except now it had something underneath it, crayon, red. Child's handwriting, uneven letters, capital and lowercase mixed, the way very young kids write. I see the man at the desk, that's what it said. I photographed it. My hands were not steady. I searched the entire floor, methodically, every conference room, every supply closet, every bathroom. It took 40 minutes. The floor was empty. When I got back to my desk and pulled up the camera playback for floor 22, starting from an hour before I went up, I found her. She appeared at the 2:58 a.m. mark on camera 22C at the end of the east corridor. Small, maybe 6 or 7 years old by her size, dark hair, a light-colored dress, possibly yellow, hard to tell on the grayscale camera. She was standing completely still, facing the far end of the hall, away from the camera. She stood there for 4 minutes and 11 seconds without moving, not swaying, not shifting her weight, not fidgeting the way kids do, just still. Then she turned and walked out of frame toward the stairwell door. The timestamp on that footage was 3:02 a.m. I didn't go up until 3:22. She'd been gone for 20 minutes before I got there.
I pulled every archived file I could access. The building's old incident reports going back to 2009. I wasn't supposed to be in those files. I did it anyway. In 2011, a night security guard named Marcus Webb filed 3 separate reports about a child seen on the upper floors. The building manager at the time had written possible trespasser, unable to confirm, on each one. Marcus Webb resigned in November of that year. No forwarding contact. In 2014, a cleaning crew reported sounds coming from the 22nd floor. A child crying sustained approximately 4 minutes. The log note after that one just said, investigated, no source found. I sat at that desk at 4 a.m. in November with those files open on my laptop, and I felt the cold working its way up from somewhere inside the chair and into my spine. This wasn't new. Whatever this was, it had been here for a long time. Long before me. Long before Marcus Webb, maybe.
My last night in that building was a Friday. I went up to 22 at 1 a.m. instead of waiting. I brought my phone set to record video, and I sat down on the floor of the east corridor, back against the wall, facing the spot where she always appeared on camera. I waited. She came at 1:44, not from the stairwell, from nowhere. She was simply there, at the end of the hall, the way she always was on camera, facing away from me, dark hair, that pale dress. I said hey, and my voice came out thinner than I expected. She turned around. I don't want to describe her face in too much detail. I want you to understand that's not me being coy or building suspense. There are things your mind does to protect you, and one of them is to make the worst things blurry in memory. I know she was small. I know her dress was yellow. I know she was smiling. I know her eyes were wrong. I don't know how long I stood there. The footage on my phone, which was still recording, which I am grateful for every single day, shows 43 seconds of me standing perfectly still. Then the lights on floor 22 went out. All of them. At once. In the dark, she said something to me, still in that small voice, gentle, the same way she'd said Daniel on the monitor 3 weeks earlier. She said, "You've been here long enough." I left. I took the elevator. I sat in my car, in the parking garage, for 2 hours before I felt able to drive. I called in my notice the next morning. The building manager called my report a fabrication, said my footage was manipulated. I don't know why I expected anything different. The building is still open, still has a night security post. I looked it up last month. They've had 4 guards in that position since I left. I hope none of them went up to 22.
There's one more thing. Something I didn't include in the report because I knew how it would sound. When I watched back the footage from my phone, the 43 seconds where I'm standing there frozen, I can see the girl clearly. Small yellow dress, dark hair, standing at the end of the hall about 15 feet away from me. But when I zoom in on the whiteboard behind her, the message has changed. It no longer says, "I see the man at the desk." It says, "I have always been here." I'm keeping the USB drive. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Some sign that someone would actually believe me. Or maybe I'm keeping it because getting rid of it feels like losing the last proof that any of this happened to me and not someone I invented. If you work nights in an office building, listen to me. If the cameras go gray on an upper floor and you hear something small, a hum, a voice, a child's footsteps in an empty corridor, do not go up. Just don't.